free Odyssey app.
All right.
Sports headlines. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Michigan Hair Restoration. Bill safety Damar Hamlin still in critical condition in Cincinnati's hospital after having his heart restarted on the field during Monday Night Football. The game is officially suspended. Reports say the Bills team flew home, but some stayed back to be near their teammate who suffered cardiac arrest. Many parallels being made to former Lion Chuck Hughes back in October 1971, the only player to ever die in an NFL game after collapsing on the field. Several Lions players, including Aiden Hutchinson, offering their support to Hamlin's family on social media. We'll also hear from head coach Dan Campbell on The Ticket later this morning, just after 8 o'clock. Yesterday, coach was all about the Green Bay game, which has been moved to Sunday night.
This is big. That's what we do. This is big. It's going to be fun. And let's go. I mean, the intensity is up now. This is a playoff game. And they're going to know that. And so that's how we're going into it.
And Campbell says they plan to win, whether it's to make the postseason or to play spoiler. A long trip to Portland ending with a lopsided score. The Pistons fell 135 to 106.
That was
facing
close.
Former forward Jeremy Grant for the first time since he was traded. He led all scorers with 36. Detroit committing 21 turnovers, giving up 37 points off of them. Elsewhere, a historic game.
We're punched
for Cleveland
in,
star
so I
Donovan
just
Mitchell
checked.
scoring the most points since Kobe Bryant's 82 back
That
in
was a close
2006.
call.
He put up 71 in an overtime win versus Chicago. Is the only player ever to score 70 and post 10-plus assists. Wilt scored 70-plus 5 times, including his 100-point game in 1962. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket at Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio.
And then
Stoney
punch
and
out at
Johnson
Fairway
on
Ridge at the end of the
97.1
day,
The
since
Ticket.
we didn't work yesterday.
Thank you, Chris. 248-539-9797. We are back together on this wonderful program. It's great to see John again. And unfortunately, we have to talk about Michigan.
Some bad things.
Pooping the bed like
Yep.
they did last year. Not as
Yep.
bad as last year, but maybe more disappointing.
Fairway Ridge.
Because after watching
Got it.
Georgia and Ohio State, I believe me, I'm not saying Michigan beat Georgia, but they certainly looked a little more vulnerable than they did last year. And who knows when the next time Michigan will get this opportunity. Hopefully it will come sooner rather than later, but you never know. All right, we have some ticket texts. And before we get to them, actually one of them is about this, so I'll ask you. Michigan was looking ahead and disrespected TCU. The arrogance bit them in the ass. Agree, disagree?
No, I mean, I don't disagree. I don't know that it was arrogance. I think it was overconfident. I mean, we're talking semantics.
Okay.
You can call it whatever you want.
So
but
you think they were a little...
I don't think they were looking ahead. I think they were just overconfident. I think that they felt like, hey, because of the numbers that TCU had, I mean, in the Big 12 championship game, they gave up over 200 yards rushing. That's what Michigan does.
Right.
And they started off that way with 54 yards. And I think at that point, you're looking at it going, all right, we should dominate. And they should have, but they didn't. And that's why you play the game.
TCU surprised me with their toughness. They got defensive pressure up front all game. Duggan is a warrior, and they have studs at running back, wide receiver, DL, and
They got studs at wide receiver. There's no question about that. And Duggan is, I don't expect him to have a great, if any, NFL career, but he is a terrific college quarterback. He is as tough as they come. And going into the game, as I learned more and more about him, I really kind of fell in love with that kid. I really did. When you look back and you say, okay, here's a quarterback that he did not win the starting job to start the season. And his quote was, I'm going to be the best backup I can possibly be. Like in today's day and age of college football of immediate, I'm going to hit the transfer portal, you got to absolutely love it. And then it pays off. Like this is the story that is so rare and so hard to come by in today's college football.
You're right.
And you've got to love that kid. And then when you get into situations like they were in this year, where they're coming down to the end and they've got to run a field goal unit on to just simply win a game, or you see how he responded after they lost to Kansas State in the Big 12 championship game. That team loved their leader, loves their leader.
Let's be honest, you couldn't drop a better blueprint for TCU to win that game. Michigan every crucial mistake possible. Yeah, 2 pick sixes, but you have to give TCU credit. The first one, I thought was a great play. The guy jumped a route, which I don't think enough cornerbacks do at any level. But it was a long throw he shouldn't have made. The second one was just ridiculous. I don't know what the hell JJ was seeing. Maybe he was looking at pictures on the scoreboard of his girlfriend that they kept showing on ABC, ESPN. That was unbelievable how much time she had. At least we didn't have the Brent Musburger moment. I think part of the problem was that Michigan overlooked TCU. The talk last week amongst fans and radio and talk shows was, who would you rather play, Georgia or Ohio State? Not what we need to do to beat TCU. TCU was a lot faster.
Okay, we're allowed to talk about those things.
Yes.
All right, that has nothing to do with what the team is concentrating on or focusing on.
Right. Now, a lot of people believe that when JJ, at the media availability, said we're going to bring the Big Ten to the Big 12, and that was like a cocky, arrogant, smash, we're going to smash them. I didn't take it that much like that. I think they asked him probably, how are you going to win the game, and he said, that's what we're going to do. I thought it was kind of peculiar that Junior Colson did not know what conference TCU was in. And look, to me and you, it doesn't mean anything. But Sonny Dykes actually said they use that stuff to fuel them. So where you, and I agree with you most of the time on this, disregard the bulletin board and all that other stuff.
Once the game starts, yeah.
Right, but it obviously gets them motivated even more than they, I don't see how you can be more motivated, but it does something.
Well, here's where Michigan really, I think, made their biggest mistake. And that was not capitalizing on getting in the end zone on that opening drive.
Oh, yeah.
And Michigan has been so good at that all year. Like, they were the best in the country at getting points and touchdowns out of the opening drive. And you had an opportunity to set the tone in that game of, hey, we just went for 54, and you've got to find a way to continue to pound it on the ground and pound it in the end zone. They could have put the first nail in the coffin at that point. Now, it's way too early to say the game would have been over. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But when you have the reputation of, we are going to be more physical, we are going to be more dominant, to come away with no points.
Right. That's how they should have kicked the field goal.
John, just really quick back on that. I think that goes back to the first play of the game, where Donovan Edwards has a 54-yard run, and when he makes that run, he breaks to the second level. I'm thinking,
touchdown.
5, and it wasn't 5. And at that point, if you have a big play like that, first play of the game, my thought, look, they needed to convert a third down, and I was thinking they kind of have to score a touchdown here, or else it's actually kind of a big momentum swing for TCU after the first big play of the game. And I'm wondering if the coaches felt the same way. They'll put the pressure on them, and then they're making a silly decision that you guys think of doing the Philly special on 4th down.
Right. Now, somebody, I understand what this person is saying, but I wouldn't take it to this level. Michigan played like Stoney has won it all year. That's why they lost. Hopefully in years to come, Michigan won't follow the Stoney creative game plan and will be boring, scoring on their first possession every time. Now, when I always complained about creativity, even with Jim Harbaugh, it was not trick plays, though. It was kind of just basically, tight ends getting open in the end zone within the tight. That's just basic, more creativity. The Philly special in that situation was ridiculous. I know they were going to say, well, if it would have worked, it would have been genius. No,
I do believe that. If it worked, it would have been genius. Look, when you run a play like that, it's either going to work beautifully and be wide open, or it's going to look the way it did on Saturday. There's no between.
I just wouldn't do it on 4th. Some more text.
I just did.
That's true. And believe it or not, you can ask my daughter, because we were there, conservative Stoney, believe it or not, said I'd kick a field goal. I would go for it. I'd like to get John's take on McCarthy's post-game performance of making a short statement and walking out without taking questions. I think that's poor leadership, and he's clearly shown himself to be a good winner after Ohio State by talking to anyone and everyone who's in 50 feet apart from him. I don't see that as good leadership.
I've never been a fan of the one statement, not taking questions. I believe that you've got to make yourself available. If you're going to make yourself available when you win, you got to make yourself available when you lose.
Yeah. I don't don't care if you're pissed off at yourself or pissed off what happened. You're out there. You're the quarterback of that team.
And there's a lot of different things. We talk about this all the time. We talk about the handshake, right? And I'm not a huge fan of the handshake. After the game, if we win or if we lose, like, why would I want to see you celebrate? I want to get to the locker room. So on the flip side, if we win, why would I be so arrogant to think that you would want to shake my hand? I'll let you go to the locker room. I go to my locker room, and at that point, you get in the NFL, you get 15 minutes, and then the locker room is open. You've got to be able to talk to the media and answer questions. I believe it's different at the NFL level because those guys have done it longer, have been through more situations, they're professional. And with the NIL, that's all gotten to be kind of a gray area in regards to, are we calling the college athlete now a professional? But you've got to be, if you're going to make yourself available when you win a big game, you also have to make yourself available when you lose a big game.
Amazing how Harbaugh's transformed himself into Bo. Same hat, same glasses, same smirk, same results in bowls. This was the year to take a step up. Instead, it will be a step back. That's what people think. I don't think you can call it a
Turn
step
blanker
back.
on with your
They
brain.
went 13-0 going into the game. They were one of the 4 best teams in the country. Probably going to end up in final polls or whatever. But yeah, the bowl record is bowl-like. And that is disconcerting to some people. Now, in today's college football, I don't think you judge everything by bowls because in a lot of these bowls, some players don't play and all that stuff. However,
There's 2 bowl games, there's 3 bowl games that everybody plays in, unless you're Ohio State. But TCU had a full complement of players.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan had a full complement of players. You know, those that were healthy enough to play.
right, yeah. But it is, so 1-6. The record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And as somebody pointed out yesterday, the only one he beat was Jim McElwain. Let's go to Brandon. You're on 97 on the ticket.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, John, I have a quick question. Did you notice the bad spot after the interception right away?
I didn't notice it right away, no. I did notice it after you go back. I always go back and look at the plays and where they happen, how they happen, and I noticed it at the commercial break after, Wilson wasn't called a touchdown, right?
Right. So my thing is, and I'm not going to blame officiating because that's ultimately I blame the team for not being prepared. The coaching staff didn't look prepared. What I will say with a lot of the people, and I kind of agree with the people who use this logic, is college football is kind of a momentum shifty thing, and if Wilson's touchdown stands, we don't know how that plays out. But my thing is, as a Jim Harbaugh guy, and I'm a 49er fan, so I've seen it in San Francisco, in big games, he doesn't seem to get his team prepared. They started slow in the Super Bowl, and I've seen it bowl game after bowl game, really since the first one. And it's kind of bothered me. And also, too, was Michael Barrett hurt? Did he play?
Yeah, he played. He actually made some big plays.
I know. He was one of the ones who actually tackled well in that game.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean,
in the first half, I saw number 30 out there instead of Michael Barrett. I had no idea who number 30 was. Michael Barrett played all year, and I saw him number 30. I have no idea who that player is.
James Roller?
It seemed like they were...
Jimmy Roller, freshman linebacker.
Yeah, and he's played, more as the season went on. The last half of the season, he played.
By the way, I believe, I don't know what the final tally was, but in the first halves of the last 2 bowl games, they've scored a total of 9 points. And they needed a New York field goal to do that, which is incredible.
And I mean, the game went just how the season went, right? 6 points in the first half, and then 39 in the second half. All season long, they were more of a second half team, and the whole, they need to start faster. I disagreed with that in regards to the opening drive.
Right.
Well, they didn't get that opening drive, and then the rest of the first half was pretty much what we've seen them do all season long.
Telephone number 248-539-9797. Don't forget, Dan Campbell will join us coming up at 8:02 here on the Stoney and Jansen program, 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, if you're in need of affordable, minimally invasive hip or knee treatment, you have to visit my friends over at Straith Orthopedics. I've talked about Dr. Fleischman, his amazing team in the past, and I'm back at it again because they really are. Get your old life back with help from Dr. Fleischman. Call Straith Orthopedics at 855-STRAIGHT. That's 855-STRAIGHT, or you can schedule an appointment online at straith.org. Straith Orthopedics is committed to you.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, dealing with a few issues on the drive this morning. 696 westbound right after Mound. A crash is blocking the two right lanes and shoulder. Traffic now backed up before Van Dyke. On I-94, a couple of other issues. Westbound at Little Mac in Macomb County, there's an accident blocking the left shoulder. And then 94 westbound after Cadju, a disabled vehicle blocks the left side. I'm Michelle Pendia with traffic.
We ain't done yet. Enjoy this. Let's get back to work. Yes, sir. Family on three. 1, 2, 3.
The Detroit Lions face the Green Bay Packers. Lions game day starts Sunday at 5:15 on 97.1 The Ticket.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
With car prices at an all-time high, our donors are now getting highest receipts ever. Donate at carsforkids.org, and your car can be picked up tomorrow.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Every small business owner knows business happens everywhere. The office, the warehouse, or on the road. And no matter where it takes you, there's one solution to help your business thrive. Comcast Business Complete Connectivity. It's the largest, fastest, reliable network with advanced gig speed Wi-Fi and cyber threat protection in one solution. Plus, add Comcast Business Mobile and you can save up to 60% a year on your wireless bill. Get started for just $40 a month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. And ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card.
Flight 291 is now boarded.
Yep, you're going places. And when you get there, be ready to do business. The complete connectivity solution from the company that powers more small businesses than any other provider. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/21/2023. Restricted supply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New 100 megabits per second internet. And Comcast Business Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Gig internet required for gig Wi-Fi. Mobile savings compares pricing of the top 3 carriers.
Listen all season long to 97.1 The Ticket for your chance to win tickets to see the Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena. For more info and to purchase tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com now.
Are you ready? Stock up and save big now on appliances and more at the Truckload event at Lowe's. For a limited time only, get up to an additional $600 off select major appliances and instant savings from top brands like Whirlpool and Frigidaire. Plus, get store-wide savings on even more items that you need. Head to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowe's.com to shop the Truckload event today. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Dial 1229 through 14.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Changing your oil. You know, an oil change is a great way to get more MPGs. Right now, you can enter for a daily chance to win a $200 AutoZone gift card when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 Full Synthetic and an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $38.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
No purchase required.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh yeah, let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab your trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
The
Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift the Eras Tour, presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Wow, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The sounds of the game.
Andre Swift to the 10, cuts back at the 5, to the end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions. Oh baby, what a run that time. DeAndre Swift just doing what he does.
Sounds of the game brought to you by Bill Brown Ford.
Bill Brown Ford Livonia is
Whoa! What
community,
the
and you
hell?
bet all year
What
long
the
through
fuck?
charity golf outings to baseball leagues and so much more. Why not get your next new Ford vehicle from a dealer who truly cares about their community? Save your
should've
spot
found
today
a
for
place to
2023
pull over.
orders at BillBrownFord.com.
The latest on your Detroit Lions. Download Necessary Roughness with TJ Lang and John Jansen today. Get it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
That pissed me off.
A very, very opportunistic team, very resilient team. Really great team, and played a great football game, no doubt. There's a winner, there's a non-winner, but winner was football.
The winner was football, and once again, for the 6th time in 7 bowl games, the non-winner was you, Jim, and the University of Michigan. 248-539-9797. Some more on the ticket text. We only need to look back at the Illinois game to see Michigan got out-muscled. TCU played hard and physical, and Michigan could not match the beating they got. Primary blame for this being the cluster F is due to the offensive coach's failure to scheme properly for TCU's defense. Players were rattled. No excuse.
I just think that they got away from what they did best. And there was 14 games this year. That was their worst performance. They had their worst game in the biggest game.
Seems to happen regularly.
Well, and it's not just. I know everybody wants to say, well, they were unprepared. It's coaches. Like some of the play calls, offensively and defensively, they were head scratchers.
Yes.
But it was the same thing in regards to the players, where they were doing things that were uncharacteristic of what they were and what they had showed the previous 13 games.
Right. I think a lot of the criticism, rightfully so, is for the coaching staff, but players have to take accountability as well. I mean, the 2 pick sixes, especially the second one, that's on the quarterback. Okay, and you can sit and say, well, maybe if they passed the ball more during the regular season, he would have more reps. I don't even go that route. They just got their ass kicked at the line of scrimmage. That was the story of the game to me.
It just felt
the
right.
anti-momentum hurt Michigan's mojo. They got it back in the second half. The missed tackle on the 3rd down and 7
Not
blitz.
sure
I think
why.
Michigan beat themselves. If the game was played again, they would win. Okay, that doesn't do any good though.
I did not.
You only get one shot.
Right.
That's why we should
Michigan
have
will
pulled
never win a
over.
national championship until they start respecting other teams. Michigan lost because they overlooked TCU and didn't respect TCU. They gave TCU Mike Hart MSU level motivation and got burned. Well, that's the thing we don't know. Okay, we don't know how that affects the mind. If Michigan said all the right things, if JJ would have sat there and said, they're a great team, it's going to be very tough for us. Junior Colson said, they won, they lost a tough game in the Big 12 championship game. Do you really think the game would be any different?
Yeah, I don't.
I know. That's the thing. It's the unknown of that. I think this was the first sign of how Miss Corum was. 3 trips inside the 5 and only 3 points out of it. That's fair, but every team has injuries. So.
Yes, but so here's the question that I had, and I had it during the game. Like, okay, you get inside the 10-yard line. That's where you got to have your guys that you count on to make plays. And nothing against Khalil Mullings, but where was Donovan Edwards?
I think you're right, especially
like is Khalil Mullings now the short yardage specialist?
Is he Jamal Williams?
but no, like that's where if that had been the course of action over 13 weeks, then I could understand it, but not at that critical time. And
when did they pull it out? The Ohio State game, right?
Well, they did. Yeah, it was the Ohio State game because that's when they were hoping to get Blake Corum back.
Right.
He went for like one play and couldn't go. And yeah, they pulled it out for a couple of short yardage, but this is, I don't know, were they saving Donovan Edwards for something else? Was he tired? Like, that's where I just don't understand why we saw Khalil Mullings every single time. It wasn't just one time. If it's one time inside the 5-yard line, right, okay, maybe they're giving Donovan a rest, or there's a number of different reasons it could happen, but it was every time.
Yeah, and it did work once. later in the game. When JJ sent one of the guys in motion and seen that it was zone instead of man, that's when you knew Philly special wasn't going to work. No audible out of it. That is poor. Enough with the dual OC thing. That's from James.
I'm not going to get on that one. It worked well for 13 games. Again, this is the worst game that Michigan played all season long, and it just happened to be in the biggest game.
The bottom line was the vaunted Michigan offensive line was pathetic. They couldn't run the ball, had too many missed blocks on passing plays. The offensive coordinators need some blame here, too. They had 3 weeks to counter the TCU 3-3-5 defense. Instead, they looked slow and confused the entire game. I think that's accurate.
I think it's very accurate. I'm not going to disagree with that at all.
No.
It was just very disappointing in how they, for me, watching the offensive line that should have been much more productive, just wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, most of the game, I'll use it again, Joe Moore turned into Mary Tyler Moore. All right, it's time for news. Here's Heather.
All right, you guys. As you know, football fans across the country are praying for the recovery of Damar Hamlin, and they're also sharing tributes and messages of support on social media. Really, everywhere you look, that's what you see right now. And not only are they doing that, but they're also supporting his charity. So he was raising money to buy toys for this toy drive on GoFundMe, and his original goal was $2,500. And as of this morning, it has surpassed $3 million.
Wow.
Now, this toy drive already happened for the Christmas holiday, but they're hoping that this money will help, obviously, in the years to come, next year as well, and I'm guessing even further than that with $3 million. It's pretty incredible to see people coming together and rallying and praying for his recovery. And as we know, he is still fighting for his life. He suffered cardiac arrest when he fell on the field. It sounds like he is still sedated in critical condition. In other news, Jeremy Renner, he's also in critical but stable condition after he was involved in this accident while he was plowing snow at his home in Nevada. This happened on New Year's Day. According to reports, he was out plowing snow after this big snowstorm when his snowcat ran over one of his legs.
Ouch.
And I don't know exactly how it happened, but apparently there's some safety feature on this plow that failed or malfunctioned. He did lose a lot of blood there at the scene, but there was a neighbor who was a doctor who was able to apply a tourniquet while they waited for the paramedics to arrive. And it sounds like he was taken immediately to the hospital. He had to be airlifted. He underwent surgery yesterday, and his rep says that he is recovering with his family and he is receiving excellent care. After being diagnosed with what she is calling a double whammy, tennis legend Martina Navratilova is undergoing treatment for stage 1 throat and breast cancer. I know, very sad news. The 66-year-old told the Sunday Times that she is processing this dual diagnosis with hope for a positive outcome. And of course, this diagnosis actually comes after she has recovered from breast cancer about 13 years ago. So after being diagnosed, she did release a statement, and she said, "The double whammy is serious but fixable, and I'm hoping for a favorable outcome. It's going to stink for a while, but I'll fight with all I've got." So
she's always been a fighter on the court, off the court, and I'm sure she'll fight through this.
Yeah,
and everything she's got.
So Lake Superior State University, they always release their annual list of words that should be banished for the next year. So of course, it's a new year, so they've released their list of the words that really should never be spoken or uttered, at least for this year. And I'll read them off to you. The number 1 is goat. And this is not just goat, the animal, but obviously as in greatest,
the greatest
of all time.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get rid of that. They also say inflection point, quiet quitting, gaslighting, moving forward, amazing, Does that make sense? Irregardless, absolutely, and it is what it is. Should all be retired in 2023.
Yeah.
Some of those I agree with.
Yeah.
Where's outstanding on that?
Yeah, I've already eliminated that. I've only used it once today, at least that I remember.
You can use it as many times as
There's nothing wrong with that. Save is amazing.
Yeah.
And not everything really is amazing or outstanding,
No.
but you know what? That's not bad.
I agree with it is what it is. And that one, I know, that one drives my mom nuts. I use that sometimes just to get under her skin.
I know.
You're welcome, Mom.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know if this was on the list before, but like whatever, I use too much, you know.
Oh,
if I have on the phone,
that one just drives
whatever.
me
I know, I use it a lot.
crazy.
There's also another one that probably should as well.
That was awesome!
Yeah, awesome.
Aww!
All right, thank you very much, Heather. 248-539-9797. We'll get back into talking about Michigan. Also, the Lions. That's right. Your Lions are playing for a playoff spot, maybe. If you own a business, it's been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and managed to survive, could you be eligible to receive a payroll of up to $26,000 per employee? This isn't a loan. There's no payback. It's a refund of your taxes. Challenge is getting your hands on it. Now, how do you cut through the red tape and get your business to refund money? Well, go to getrefunds.com. The team of tax attorneys they have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program and have already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. They do all the work, no charge up front, simply share a percentage of the cash they get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those who took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. To find out if your business qualifies, just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. The payroll tax refund is only available for a limited amount of time. Don't miss out. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
PJ Glasser with BetQL. After starting the season 3-2 with 2 losses to Illinois and Baylor, the UCLA Bruins have been rolling. They have won 9 games in a row, including a true road win at Maryland and a neutral site win versus Kentucky. They have 2 seniors in Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Tiger Campbell, who have both been to the Final Four and have a ton of talent around them. Grab the Bruins at plus 1,400 to win the national title while you still can. I'm PJ Glasser, helping you beat the books.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a father facing separation but want to avoid losing custody of your kids or paying too much in child support, call ADAM, the American Divorce Association for Men. With our proven advice, we can help you avoid problems before they start. Call us today at 248-356-2326. That's 248-356-ADAM.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Rise and shine with delicious morning deals like 2 for $5 breakfast. Choose from the tasty sausage McMuffin with egg, sausage McGriddles, or egg McMuffin. Any 2 for just $5. Breakfast hours only. Single item at regular price. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Why? Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Bets free, bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with promo code WOJO. You can bet your favorite team, bet a money line, bet your favorite player to go over or under a certain amount of yards. Whatever you wish. It's an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Sign up today with promo code WOJO for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment matter more this season with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, Maria in Miami, and Jules in Troy, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with high-quality supplies for every industry, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Oh, want better visibility to get you through the winter? A new pair of premium wipers can help. Right now, you can earn a $10 bonus reward when you buy a pair of Rain-X Quantum wiper blades. See better and stay safe on the road all winter long. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Offer available to AutoZone Rewards.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Pethura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable health insurance, call 877-734-2200.
97.1 The Ticket would like to remind you that when you text the ticket, standard text messaging rates apply.
Checking to make sure.
They won the game in the 60 minutes that was played, and they're a good football team. No matter what it is, that they got the win, and fought our hearts out. There's a lot of things that
yours, I know
we could have done better.
does the
Can't wait to
same
watch
thing.
the tape, but we'll be back, and I promise that.
And then he walked off, which I thought was not very good. That's J.J. McCarthy after the game. You don't leave your other teammates there to answer all the questions if you're the, quote, leader quarterback of the team. So that was bad. Still young, was his first year. A lot of people out there say, they can't win with J.J. McCarthy. Look, he had 2 bad passes in the game. He wasn't great, but he was very good in the second half. Now, a lot of that was, trying to play catch-up, and I understand that. But keep in mind, this was his first year as a starting quarterback. So I assume, shame on me if I'm assuming, that he's only going to get better. So,
well, that's what you would hope. Like, starting from here until the start of next season, you've got winter conditioning, you've got spring ball, you've got summer conditioning, you've got 7-on-7s,